Hello everybody and welcome back. Today I am going to make a dish that has been highly requested by many people. Well, mainly the wife and the kids, but a few other people here or there. But it is the nation's favorite. It is the king of all dishes, the jewel in the crown, the dish of the British. That is right, we are making fish and chips. No, don't be silly. Today we are going to make a chicken tikka masala. But don't forget, let's have a beer. Okay, so I now show you how to make the chicken tikka marinade. Okay? Okay, so to make the chicken tikka, I have taken around about 800 grams of breast meat and thigh meat. You can use just breast or you can use just thigh or you can use mix. It's entirely up to you. But you will also need some salt, some dhana jeeru powder, some haldi, tandoori masala, coriander dry, mint dry, some lemon juice, some cream, Kashmiri mirch, yogurt and some oil. And of course, the two ingredients I forgot to add was the green chili and the ginger garlic paste. Take the chicken, put it into a bowl and let us start the marinade. So first of all, take some ginger garlic paste. 1, 2, I think about 2.5 is good enough there. Don't forget the chilies. Good. Put it all in, about 1.5. You're going to need some salt. Some dhana jeeru powder. Haldi powder, half a teaspoon. 1, 2, 3 teaspoons of that, of the tandoori masala, some coriander, mint, pinch of both, Kashmiri chili powder, gives it a nice color and a kick. Take some yogurt. 1, 2, 3 should be enough. A dash of oil. About a teaspoon of lemon juice. Now give it a good all mix. Okay, the marinade is looking very good. Just give it a quick try to make sure the salt is okay. Mine was fine. Add a touch of cream just to give it a bit more softness. Give it a nice mix and leave it in the fridge for about 4 hours. We need to chop the onions. Okay boys, we need to get mommy to cut the onions, okay? Go and tell her.
Okay.
I'm busy.
Mommy is busy. Mommy is busy.
Okay, I have peeled the 10 onions. Hard job, has to be done. Wife didn't do it. What can we do? Need more beer. Cheers. Okay, so to make this dish, you've already seen that I have chopped up 10 onions. They don't need to be very small, big chunks are okay. For the whole spices, you will need about 10 cardamoms. You need some bay leaves, star anise, cinnamon sticks, 2 big elaichis, big cardamoms, some cloves, some jeera. This is what I call Javitri. I have no idea what you call in the English. And this is what I call the variari. You will need honey, lemon, cashew nuts, butter, Kashmiri mirch powder. You'll need salt to taste. 2 to 3 tablespoons of the jeera, ginger garlic paste, chili paste. You'll need some tomato puree, some tandoori masala. We will go for 2 tablespoons of about the dhana jeeru powder, half a teaspoon of black pepper powder, half a teaspoon of, maybe a teaspoon of the mango powder, teaspoon of garam masala and a teaspoon of haldi powder. With this, you will also need KTC's pure creamed coconut. And don't forget, you will also need KTC's chopped tomatoes. Just in case we get a bit of money from KTC, you never know, you know. Last but not least, with the weather being beautiful, some gin. Okay, so all the chopping is now completed. Now it is the time to show you how to make the actual sauce. Okay, to get started, put on a big pot, put half of the packet of the butter. This dish does need a lot of butter and some oil. Don't forget to add some oil to stop the butter from burning. On the side, put the cashew nuts to boil in some water. Okay, so we are making a lot of sauce. This sauce is not just for the tikka and masala. You can actually save it for later on for other dishes. So we might make a paneer tikka masala later on. We can make into a vegetable masala, make a paneer butter masala. We can make a aloo masala, whatever you learn. But the sauce is the important part. So let's make a lot of this sauce. Okay, so the butter is ready. Let's get the whole spices in. Let them cook for a minute or two till you hear a little bit of popping and you can get the onions in. While the oil is getting done, might as well try and finish the beer off so you can move on to the gin and tonic. Okay, we put the onions in. At this time, put it on full heat and I would add about some salt. So put about table, maybe 1.5 teaspoon of the salt. This helps the water come out quicker. The onions can take quite a while. You're gonna need plenty of gin. The onions are sweating very nicely. This is a good time where you can seal the lid for about 10 minutes. So in other dishes, I don't normally close the lid to do the onions because you want the onions to fry. But in this dish, you actually want the onions to sweat and cook and become like a lush sauce. It's been about 5 minutes. Give it a quick stir. You don't want the onions to stick to the bottom of the pan. Don't forget, keep an eye on the cashew nuts. That normally takes about 15-20 minutes to boil up till they're nice and soft. The onions are coming along very nicely. At this time, you can take the lid off and let the onions fry and the water can start burning off a little bit, you know. The gin and tonic is ready. Wife didn't buy any lemons. I'm using the cucumber. Should not put the ice on. Tough luck. We're just going to live with it. What can we do? Cheers. The onions are cooking very beautifully. At this time, I normally start taking all the crap out, where you don't need all the whole spices. Now they're done and dusted. Take them out so we're ready for stage 2. The cashew nuts are now done. Take them off the stove, leave them aside, we'll blend them in a minute. Okay, the onions are nicely golden brown. Time to add in chili paste and ginger garlic. So we're going to add in 1, 2, 3 tablespoons. Give it a good mix. Put the temperature down a bit so that ginger garlic do not burn. As usual, cook the ginger garlic until the smell is gone. The raw smell, you know what I mean. Cheers. Okay, so I forgot to tell you about the 2 very important ingredients. One is a coriander. You want about a half handful of fresh coriander and a tablespoon of the kasturi methi. The raw smell is now gone. Perfect time to add in the fresh coriander and the tablespoon of kasturi methi. Nicely rub it and put it in. We can add some more later on. At the moment, I think this should be enough. While the onions are cooking, it's a good time to get the cashew nuts blended. So put them into a nice blender and blend them into very fine paste. There we go. Okay, the paste is ready and we shall use this later on. Let's get back to the onions. Okay, so the onions are done beautifully. Time to add the dry masalas. So take the coriander powder and jeera powder mix, the black pepper powder, the mango powder, the garam masala and the haldi. Whack it in. Give it a good little stir. Put the temperature low, you don't want it all to burn. Okay, then you add the tandoori masala powder. I am adding 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll see later on if we need more. Give it a good mix. You can also add at this point round about half teaspoon of Kashmiri chili powder, depending how spicy you want it. I like it a little bit spicy, so I'm going to put a bit more. Give it a good mix. The onions and the masalas are now cooked. Add in a 1 tin of the tomatoes. Also add in some tomato puree, round about tablespoon. Give it a good quick mix and see if we actually need to add any more tomatoes. Okay, I think 1 tin is enough. So let's just take a little bit of water, about half a can worth, put it in, let it mix up and cook. Okay, I've had a quick try. It needs another half a can of KTC chopped tomatoes. Okay, the sauce is cooking very beautifully. At this time, we're going to add a little bit of honey to give it that touch of sweetness that we need. Round about a tablespoon, we'll add more later on. The sauce is cooking perfectly. You want it to start bubbling in a minute. Add a little bit more water so it's sort of this sort of consistency. Close the lid and leave it alone for about 10-15 minutes. In the meantime, have some gin. The sauce is coming along very nicely, very good, and not ready yet. Give it a little while, close the lid and let it sweat a bit more. Okay, so don't put it on the high heat, leave it on the low heat and it will simmer nicely, and the bitterness and the sourness of the tomatoes will slowly go away, and then we'll move on to step 2. In the meantime, carry on having your gin and tonic. Cheers. If it looks like the sauce is getting a little thick, add a half a cup of water. Don't worry, add it in. Make sure the sauce is still runny. The sauce is coming along beautifully. Perfect time. Let's add in the coconut cream. You want round about that much, say about 2 tablespoons, to give it that coconutty flavor, but not the sweetness. Alongside this, we are also going to add some of the cashew nut. So just try and add in, I don't know, 5-6 tablespoons. Looks good. Give it a good mix. There you go. Looking very nice. Now you're going to need more later on. So it's best to leave it at this stage. Check it to make sure that the lemon is okay. Perfect. Actually, it needs a touch of honey still. So take another tablespoon. Let it be. So we're going to give this around about 10 minutes on medium to low heat again. Let it all blend all together, and then we're going to blend the whole thing with the blending stick to make the sauce very smooth. The sauce is now ready to be blended. Take it off the heat, let it cool down a bit. You will see it's a bit thick and it needs to be a bit thick. But once it is blended, you will see a little bit of different texture. While the sauce is cooling, have another gin tonic. This is the blending stick you should be using. There you go, and vinegar. And give it a good blend to whatever smoothness you want it to. And the sauce is nicely blended. Should be a nice velvety finish. It's a little bit bitty, but yes, the sauce is now ready. Okay, I've tasted the sauce. From what I think it needs a touch more lemon. So I'm going to put a dash of lemon, and I'm going to put a little bit more cashew nut to make it a bit more richer. And then we will move on to the next stage to make the actual dish. My wife will be very pleased when she sees this. Wife's gone mental. The whole kitchen's like a sight. It's unbelievable. It's like a bomb's hit it. But it's brilliant. You know, the food will be very tasty. She can moan and groan. She'll eat it and be very happy as usual. Okay, so it's been about 7 to 8 hours. The chicken is marinated. Time to start cooking. Okay, time to lay the chicken on the tray. Okay, time to put the chicken tikka into the oven. Set the oven at 250. Add a little bit of water at the bottom of the tray so it doesn't burn. It gives it that moisture, and put it in for about 10 minutes. In the meantime, have some gin. Okay, been about 10 minutes. Let's have a quick look how the chicken's doing. Okay, chicken's doing fine. Put it back in. It's not ready yet. Okay, been another 3-4 minutes. Let's go and check. The chicken should be ready to turn over. Perfect. Time to turn the chicken over. Put it on full heat in the oven so it can crisp out, and we are ready to put for the curry. Okay, the chicken is back in the oven. Give it another 7-8 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Let's get it crisp. The moisture will stay in because the water is at the bottom of the pan. Don't worry, the chicken will not dry out. So give it another 7-8 minutes and we are ready to go. Okay, so preparing to make the chicken tikka masala, you want to chop up a half an onion. You want to do a bit of garlic, 1 clove. I've done a bit of chili because I want to make it desi style, and some coriander. This is to give it a bit of a bite. While the chicken is still cooking, get on with the gym. Okay, it's been another 7 minutes. It should be ready now. Don't overcook the chicken. Yeah, let's get it out. Okay, chicken is cooked. Take it out onto a plate. We are ready to put it into the curry. Now to make a chicken tikka, what I normally do is I put a little bit of butter into a pan, whack the chicken tank, saute it for a minute or two, put a bit of coriander, and we're out. Okay, so the butter is in the pan. Get the chicken tikka in. Give it a quick saute and we are ready to put. Okay, there you go. The chicken tikka is almost ready. You can put it into the curry or eat as the starter. So let's put it aside because we're about to make the chicken tikka masala. And there we are ready to serve with a bit of mint chutney as a starter. But we're not doing that, we're making the tikka masala. Okay, so let's get the pot on, get a bit of butter in there, and then we'll put all these spices in that we need to and get the sauce going. Okay, butter is ready. Let's get the garlic in, get the onions in, and the chili because I want to make it a bit desi style. Give it a quick saute and we're ready to put the sauce. Okay, the onions are doing very nicely. Only give it a few minutes. You don't want to overcook this. These are just to give it a little bit of bite. Onions are ready, so let's get the sauce in. The sauce that we made earlier, I put in around about 4 spoons of it. I'm saving the rest obviously because I can keep it for later. Let this heat up and then we'll move on. As the sauce is heating up, I like to add a touch of water so this chicken can get mixed in and the sauce doesn't get too dry. Add a pinch of chaat masala and garam masala and we are ready to serve. Garam masala is in, chaat masala is in. Let's get the chicken in. So just before you serve it, add a dash of lemon, which I just have. Add the corianders on top. And we are ready to go. Now if you like it a bit sweeter, you can add a dash of cream and a bit of sugar. I personally don't, but some people do. So if you want to make it sweeter, just add all that in and we are ready. Thank you. The tikka masala is now ready. Okay, so the curry is ready. The gin is going down very nicely. Let us sit and eat. Good day, and I'll see you all soon.